Well, good morning all my beautiful friends out there in YouTube land. It is a beautiful, wonderful, blessed morning because I am off today from work, so I get to spend the day working here at the house, in the yard, on the homestead, on the vehicles, all kinds of fun things that we have in store for you today, because that's what's in store for me today. As always, I have my wonderful cup of coffee here. I do believe I have already finished off the majority of an entire pot this morning, because every professional knows that coffee is the most important food group. Well, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful morning, and I am going to come take a little walk about the property and check on some things. I got my fig tree over here. We're gonna go check on the fig tree because I imagine there's got to be some getting ripe, but I checked it the other day and there wasn't any ripe figs on there. I'm gonna go check on the sweet potato patch here and the pumpkins. But before all that happens, I've got to change that battery out in my truck before my wife and kids get stranded somewhere with a dead battery. Wow. Alright guys, well, look what happened to these pumpkin leaves. Now this is the older portion of the pumpkin vine. It did not have any pumpkins on it anyways. We have a big old pumpkin growing. I've got to save the rest of this vine. Alright, I'm going to have to go to the store and buy something. Look at these caterpillars. Look at that caterpillar poop. Caterpillars are eating my stuff. Alright. Got to do something here. Gots to do something here. That's about right. So I've got a cool little permaculture story for you guys. See this ginger here? It's doing great. It's taller than I am, right? I did not plant this ginger here. I planted ginger right over here. Can you see those 2 or 3 little stalks of ginger that aren't doing so well? I planted it there. It transplanted itself right here. I had an old composting pile of sticks and grass clippings and leaves and stuff that I had here, but there's still a lot of sticks and stuff in there, so I've never really mowed it much because it would just mess up my mower, so I just mow around and just let the grass just grow over it, and they've been slowly composting. Well, this year, this ginger sprouted up here in this location, and I just let it go, and it has just done fantastic. And that is just an example of how awesome permaculture is. All you do is create environments that mimic nature, and the plants will thrive. All right, so I'm looking at the fig tree. We are still loaded up with figs, but they are not getting any bigger. I have definitely neglected the vegetable garden for the last 2 weeks. Everything died off, and it's, you know, it was fine. It's about that time. I need to come through here and clean all this out and get ready for fall garden. So you guys remember this little row right here where I used to have corn, and I came out here one day with the kids because we had a bag of rotting, sprouting potatoes in the kitchen, and we threw them in the ground, and that's been 2 or 3 weeks ago now. We have some potatoes popping up. So we have our first sign of potato life right here. That is a potato popping up. That's awesome. And I don't see anything down there. And I don't see any more signs of potato. Okay, so I have one potato and a lot of weeds here in this potato row. And you might say, well, what a failure. No, not at all. Everybody else in the world would have thrown those potatoes away. We put them in the ground, and now we've got at least one plant starting, which means I'll probably get 3 or 4 potatoes off of that. That's a success. And it's just one more fun, exciting thing to watch grow. It's life. It is alive. And being alive and being in the garden is what is so exciting. And the fact that it's alive and I get to walk out here to my garden every day and I get to experience it and watch it grow, it's exciting and it's fun. And like we've talked about 100 times, at the end of the day, when I do get a chance to harvest those potatoes and feed them to my family, to my wife and my children, I know that they're super healthy, organic, all natural, and just super good for them. And it just makes everything so much more fulfilling. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the experimental permaculture sweet potato patch. Check it out. You see all that green? Some of it's weeds, but most of it's sweet taters. Let me show you close up. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen, that sweet potato vine is doing well. So is that. So is that. So is that, 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 so is that. This one's starting to come back. Look at that right there. These are fresh up out of the ground. Look at that there. And then from that point on, we have absolutely nothing. We have life, a lot of life going on down there on that end. If you haven't watched the other videos about this experimental sweet potato patch, I encourage you to go and check those out. I might try to put a link and an iCard up here or up there. But it's been interesting. Basically what we've learned is putting these tubers, putting sweet potatoes straight into the sandy, barren soil does not work, but with a little bit of wood chips and moisture retention and just the beginning stages of decomposition of those wood chips, they're getting just enough moisture and food content in that soil to survive. Am I expecting a sweet potato harvest out of that patch anytime soon? No, not at all. I just don't see it happening. But I do want to begin to use sweet potatoes to transform the ground back there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the first task of the day is to get the battery changed out in the truck. So thank you for being here, and let's get busy. And that's how you change a battery on a Ford F-150 2012 model, yeah. And it's important to remember every time you work on your vehicle, take one last look around, make sure you didn't leave any tools in there, make sure you don't have any extra nuts and bolts laying around. That means you did something wrong. Beautiful. Well, you guys, we are putting the finishing touches on another glorious day here at the Hewitt Homestead. I was able to get a lot of things done this morning, and then we went and got some family shopping done. And now I'm going to go inside and hang out with my family and spend a little time investing in them. Hang in there, guys. We are getting down to the wire. We're going to be having that baby soon. It's going to be so awesome. Everybody out there, pray for those folks in Texas right now that are dealing with that hurricane. And just keep America in your prayers, as there's a whole lot of stuff going on out there these days, if you know what I'm saying. Guys, if you don't let God lead your life, something else will. That's a scary thought. So just remember, your Father in heaven loves you. We love you here at the Hewitt Homestead. We're so glad that you came over and watched these videos with us. Come on back for more anytime you get a chance. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button, and share this with all your friends on social media and let them join us for this crazy ride that we're on. All right, you guys, I love you, and if the good Lord's will, I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.